Hello, my name is William Mack, and I'll be talking to you today about Maryland's College and Career Ready Standards and the Partnership for Assessment of Readiness for College and Careers, more commonly known as the PARC assessment. Maryland adopted the Common Core State Standards in English Language Arts and Mathematics in June 2010 as part of the state's third wave of reform. These internationally benchmarked standards are the overarching learning expectations that guided Maryland's development of the new Maryland Common Core State curriculum. The Common Core State Standards Initiative is a state-led effort coordinated by the National Governors Association and the Council of Chief State School Officers. These rigorous educational standards establish a set of shared goals and expectations for what students should understand and be able to do in grades K to 12 in order to be prepared for success in college and the workplace. The standards are research-based and evidence-based and internationally benchmarked, like I mentioned before. Maryland's College and Career Ready Standards form the foundation for Maryland's new state curriculum framework. The top 10 things you need to know as a parent about the standards are: number 1, the goal of Maryland's new educational standards is college and workforce readiness for all students. As students progress through the grades, they will build the skills and knowledge they need to be prepared for college-level coursework in the demands of the 21st century workplace. Students will receive an education that not only leads to a high school diploma, but also success in college, career, and the life after graduation. Number 2, the new standards were developed by the state, not the federal government. Maryland's new standards are based on the Common Core State Standards, which was developed by the nation's governors and educational commissioners in collaboration with teachers, researchers, educational experts, and members of the higher education and business communities. Maryland took those higher, internationally benchmarked Common Core State Standards and refined them to meet the state's needs, creating what is now known as the Maryland College and Career Ready Standards. Number 3, the standards are not a curriculum and they do not tell teachers how to teach. Educational standards provide the foundation for a curriculum, establishing what students need to learn, but not dictating how those standards should be taught. State educational experts and teachers have worked to determine the essential skills and knowledge that students must know and be able to meet each standard. The framework will help teachers create lesson plans, guide their instruction, and tailor how they teach the standards to a specific needs of their students. Number 4, better standards call for better assessments. New tests have been developed that measure the critical content and skills of the new standards. Maryland was part of this consortium of the states, the Partnership for Assessment of Readiness for College and Career, or PARC. They worked together to develop common set of tests aligned to the Common Core standards. The PARC assessments test writing skills in each grade level, as well as critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Students are taking the new assessments on computers, allowing teachers to see the results quickly and adjust classroom instruction to the needs of their students. These tests are given in grades 3 through 12. We'll take a look at the PARC assessment a little later in this video. Number 5, Maryland's new standards focus on 21st century skills. The Maryland College and Career Ready Standards emphasize the development of skills like problem solving, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity that are vital to success in college and today's workplace. They also allow students to apply their learning to real-world situations that simulate the type of work they may do in the future. Number 6 is my favorite. The standards create consistent learning goals for all students, regardless of where they live or go to school. This is one that I feel Garrett County is well ahead of the game than any other county in Maryland, and for that matter, any state that has adopted the Common Core. By having consistent standards, parents can be assured that their children are being taught the same rigorous skills and knowledge as other students across Maryland and across the country. Having consistent standards also provides students, parents, and teachers with clear understanding of what students should be learning at each grade level. This is something that we as a county started with the adoption of our last math series, Growing with Math, and it continues today with a new county-developed math series. Number 7, The standards are aligned to college and workplace expectations. Maryland's new standards reflect the knowledge and skills most valued by employers in higher education. Leaders in the higher education and business communities played a valuable role in their development, providing insight on the learning most needed by students entering college and the workforce. Students who master the standards will be on track to graduating from high school fully prepared for their next steps. Number 8. The standards are benchmarked against academic standards from the world's top performing countries. Maryland's education system is consistently ranked as one of the nation's best. But in today's global economy, competition for jobs doesn't just come from across the state or the country, but it spans the whole globe. Students must be prepared with the skills and knowledge to compete with their peers at home, as well as students from around the world. Number 9. The standards call for changes in learning for ELA and mathematics. In ELA, English and Language Arts, students will read more complex nonfiction and fiction text. They will learn to create written arguments using evidence from multiple texts and to gather evidence to defend their opinions. In mathematics, students will develop a foundation of mathematical skills and learning from kindergarten through 12th grade, giving them the building blocks to understanding how and why math works in the real world. And number 10, the Maryland College and Career Ready Standards delve deeper into core concepts. The standards ask teachers and students to dig deeper into the core skills and concepts at each grade level, focusing on the most important topics that students need to know. Teachers will have more time to cover subjects in greater detail and help students master critical skills and develop a deeper understanding of key concepts. The older thinking was to hit many topics just a little and spiral back to them occasionally throughout the year. And many children got lost in this idea. They could not retain from one group set of lessons to the next. Now teachers dig deeper into the topic and ensure a level of deep understanding that is key as we introduce new concepts. Now that doesn't mean we don't revisit the concepts already taught. It just means they understand it fully when it resurfaces again for new knowledge to be built onto it. Let's take a little deeper look at the standards. The Common Core State Readiness Standards at any level specify the mathematics that all students should study as they prepare for college and career ready after graduation. The students are listed in domains. These are the domains right here. As you can see, a few examples are here. Let's look at counting and cardinality right here. Expressions and equations, functions, geometry. These are not necessarily the recommended orders of instruction, but simply grouped by appropriate topic. You can see that kindergarten will start with counting and cardinality, geometry, measurement and data, number and base 10, and algebra or operations and algebraic thinking. Then when those students move on to first grade, they're going to continue with the geometry, the measurement and data, the number and operations in base 10, and the operational and algebraic thinking. But here, the counting and cardinality should be fully developed and something that the students just know automatically. So what does it mean? Let's look at this. This is a simple code that a teacher might see that gives them a standard that they have to know for the career ready standards. 3.OA.C.7. 3 is simply the grade level. OA, right here, algebra, or it tells me that it's the operations and algebraic thinking domain. C is the cluster, and 7 is the standard. When I look at this, I might think that there's a lot of standards. However, the clusters are just a group of related standards. For operations and algebraic thinking in third grade, there's 4 clusters and 9 standards total. Cluster A incorporates standards 1 through 4, Cluster B standards 5 and 6, Cluster C standards 7, and Cluster D standards 8 and 9. And this is how our teachers usually see it when they start a unit. Of course, you can see the 3OA C7. In this unit, this is a unit that the first unit of third grade, suggested number of days. It should take about 10 days to do this. This is just an example of what they see to help them form their lessons. You can see all the parts of that standard that we talked about before. Hopefully this gives you a little more understanding of what these codes mean and everything. And if you'd like to dig further into them, what I would suggest is going to marylandpublicschools.org. You can find all of the standards, all the frameworks right there. And the Dana Center is actually where we pulled our unit lessons from. All right. Now let's take a look at PARC, the Partnership for Assessment of Readiness for College and Careers. What's nice about PARC is it serves as an educational GPS system. It assesses students' current performance and points them in the way students need to learn by graduation time so they're ready for college or their career. It helps drive teacher instruction. Like we said, it's computer-based. Assesses writing and critical thinking at every grade level, starting at grade 3 all the way through grade 12. Solves real-world math problems and has accurate comparisons. And when I say accurate comparisons, we can actually compare from state to state regardless of the zip code. Okay, it's kind of that one that I said that I really liked. This is a short video, just talks about PARC a little bit. Now, in this video, they are going to say that the test is given at 2 times. That's the only misleading information that's in here now. They have redeveloped this year. Last year, we did give it at about 75% of the way through the year and 90%. Now it's just all going to be given 90% of the way through the year. So it's ever changing, kind of like education usually does. We're trying to make it right, trying to make it perfect. So this is, again, it's just a quick video. Just sit back and watch for a second.
When it comes to our students' education, we all want to know the most important thing. How are they doing in school? What can they improve on? Will they be ready for college? For their careers? Will they be ready for life in the real world?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out.
That's Leanne Marcus, a 4th and 5th grade teacher in New Jersey.
As you may know, many states across the country have recently adopted new and more rigorous standards in math and English language arts. This is to ensure students graduate high school equipped to succeed in college and their careers.
So, basically, we're raising the bar for our students, which means that we need to find innovative new ways to measure their progress in learning, and to best answer the question, how are they doing? That's why many states work together to develop a new assessment system called PARC, which stands for the Partnership for Assessment of Readiness for College and Careers.
Designed by educators and aligned to the rigorous state standards, PARC not only measures student knowledge, but also important skills like critical thinking and problem solving, the skills students will need to succeed in the real world.
In short, PARC is a complete assessment system, and it was created with teachers for students. Students will take one assessment divided into 2 sections, one given early spring and one in late spring. Eventually, PARC will measure student progress during the school year. These new assessments will replace old state tests. To illustrate what PARC is, let's focus on a few of its most innovative features and see how it will provide better information for teachers and parents. First, PARC tests can be done entirely on the computer. This online-based system makes the testing process more engaging for students and more efficient for educators to collect results. It even allows options for students with special needs.
But if your school isn't yet equipped for an online test, a pencil and paper version of PARC will be made available.
In the English Language Arts section, students read fiction and non-fiction passages from real texts, as well as watch videos or listen to audio. They must study this media carefully and use them to give written responses with supporting evidence. In the Mathematics section, students solve multi-step problems that require mathematical reasoning and show their understanding of each problem. They must also create equations based on real-world problems.
PARC will provide a clearer picture for teachers, students, and parents about whether a student is prepared for each step in their education. Soon, PARC results will be available within the same school year that tests are taken. This means that teachers will be able to help students get and stay on track.
Perhaps the best part of PARC is that its assessments give teachers actionable data to work with. This will enable teachers to identify areas of improvement in their students and to ensure they're prepared for the following school year. And for the first time, Park will allow students to have comparable results across multiple states.
What makes this so exciting is that it gives us a big picture look at our education system, where students are struggling, and where they excel.
When students succeed in the classroom, they're more likely to succeed in life and positively contribute to the communities where they live and learn. Learn more by visiting parkonline.org.
Again, I want to clarify that our test is given just at that. Let me get back in here real quick. Just at that 90% level now. It's not two tests. It's not the 75% of the way through the year and 90%, like they said in the video. So given it 90% of the way through the year, and they were developed on years of research and development and fully assess the focus and the rigor of the Common Core standards. So let's look a little bit at what it looks like. So here, one way Park is different from our old way of thinking is it looks for multiple answers. We used to rely on the idea that we really didn't care how you got the right answer, just that you got it right. Now we're looking more at the thinking side of things. Can you solve problems in a variety of ways? What are other possible solutions? Here's one way of doing it. Can you show another? Or all types of questions you might see on Park. In this example, our thinking is just reversed from the first example. In that first example, we matched the number sentence to the word problem. Now the question reverses that thinking to address a deeper understanding of the problem solving. Now we're given the word problem, and we have to pick two stories that would go with it. So seeing it both ways. Again, another basic question with very deep math roots. This is the question that students will, in this question, students are going to critique other students' work and explain errors. Notice the technology involved here. Got a whole bunch of buttons up here. This is my go back button. This is my forward button. This is my trash button if I want to throw it all away. This is my text if I want to type text. This is just another symbols button. And over here are all my math symbols. It's not just writing or typing. This is a prime example of a technology enhanced question. Not only do they have to know how to write, but also how to use the tools and the symbols on the screen. In the video, you saw one where they were dragging some fractions into boxes. That's a drag and drop. That's another technology enhanced type of question. The nice thing is at County, we're developing these with the use of SchoolNet for the teachers to use in the classroom, so our students are becoming more and more familiar with this type of questioning. For the next four questions, we're going to skip one there. Hold on a second. Yeah. For the next four questions is another type of that extended question like they ask. For this one, we're going to have to refer to this graphic to answer. You will see the level complexity rise as well throughout the questionings, A, B, C, and D. Now, when they take this question online, this graphic is always going to be there. They're going to have it for all parts of the question. So when I go to the first two parts, part A and part B, pretty basic questions, okay? These are questions that everybody in the grade level should be able to get pretty easily. But if I look at C and D, you're going to see that they get a little tougher. I don't have that just idea where I can just pick an answer and hope that it's right. I take that answer elimination out. I have to actually give my full answer here. And then in part D again, I see that technology enhanced type of question where I have some tools that I get to work with. All right, so that's just a real quick look again at the standards. A quick look at Park. If you get a chance, check out Park. All of these are the sources that I used for this. I hope you found the overview of the standards in Park helpful. Again, these are the sites that I use for the presentation. Feel free to explore more on your own and take advantage of the released Park items to practice at home with your children. It's something I can't stress enough. If they practice at home, they're practicing at school. It's just going to be really familiar for them when they take it for real. Thank you for your time again, and if you have questions, don't feel bad about contacting me. My name is Bill Ack. My email is bill.ack@garrettcountyschools.org, and if you'd like me to come and talk to you guys about anything else, let me know, and I'll be there. Thank you.